Dear students, now we are going to discuss about the middle stage of the river. In a journey of a river, we have already discussed that there are the three stages. In the first stage of the river, we have seen the river usually remain very erosive. They used to do that erosional work. But in the middle stage, when it enters, we usually see the starting of the deposition. Depositional work is the predominant in this particular stage, and also it is extended in the next portion, means that the old stage of the river is also characterized by the such type of depositions. So at the time of deposition, what are the reasons are there? First of all, we have to keep in mind the most important factor behind the deposition by a river in these stages, that is related to the reduction of the slope. So when the slope becomes gentle, it is quite natural that river usually get lost its capacity to erode the materials, and maximum work of the river is mainly associated to the deposition. We can see that some of the important features, those which are developed in this particular region, what they are, the river, they usually form lots of tributaries as well as also distributaries also we can see in this particular section. Next one, we can see that the most impressive landmass as a part of the depositional landform, that is the delta formation, floodplain formation, meanders formation, oxbow lake formation. All these we will discuss in this portion step by step. I think you can understand them. Now dear students, you are seeing that the photograph of meander. What is meander? Meander is the twisting path of the river. Along with the twisting path of the river, we usually see that the rivers, they used to take their huge bends. And the reason behind the formation of such type of bends is mainly associated to the huge deposition in the middle path. Behind the huge deposition, there is the most important reason, that is the reduction in the slope of that particular area. So when the slope usually get reduced, when it is turned into the gentle one, that time we can see the river, they usually lost their capacity to erode something. So they start a deposition, and due to the lack of force of water, the rivers, they have the tendency to avoid such depositions. But we have to keep in mind, river meanders are not a particular landform. It is a type of river channel. So what is river meanders? River meanders refer to the bends of the longitudinal courses of the rivers. The shape of the meander is usually semicircle, but sometimes it is also circular, and we have to keep in mind each of meander belt has two types of slopes. What they are? One is referred as the concave slope, another is referred as the convex slope. So river meander, they are very basically the form of the river channel. It is not actually the landform, and it is developed due to the deposition of the river. And when the river, they not able to erode the materials in the gentle slope, we usually see the formation of such type of course. The meander of the river, they have the two kinds of slopes. One is referred as the concave, another is referred as the convex slope. What is the meaning of the concave slope? This is the slope where the channel strikes the valley sides directly, which is subjected to the severe erosion. So particularly the side of the meander which is being struck by the flow of water, that is known as the concave slope, and the opposite of the concave, there is the convex slope. In this particular section, it is related to the deposition. Now look at the diagram. From here you can easily understand that which side of the slope there will be erosion and where will be the deposition. So first of all, in the concave slope we are getting what? Concave slope, we are getting that the erosion, and convex slope we are getting the deposition. Now the second feature we are going to discuss here. This feature, it is the formation of oxbow lake. Oxbow lake formation, it is mostly related to the meander. So what is oxbow lake? First of all, we will try to understand. An oxbow lake is a crescent shaped lake lying alongside the winding river. So when the river, they usually take bend, we used to see one side, very particularly in the concave side, we are getting erosion, another side, in the convex side, we are getting the deposition. So erosion and deposition that lead to the very close situation of the two bends. Erosion in the concave side makes the loops together or close to each other, brings them close to each other. Look at the diagram. In the concave side, what we are getting? In the concave side, we are getting the erosion, and convex side, we are getting the deposition. Such continuous process of erosion in one side, deposition in another, that usually brings them very close to each other. So when the bends they are coming to very close, when the bends that they are reducing, the bend is being the gap between the bend, it is going to be reduced. That time a river has the tendency to make the direct channel once again, means the river they usually get straight once again. And due to the straightening of the river channel, a cut off portion we used to develop, that is referred as the oxbow lake. So erosion in the concave side makes them or leads to them to very close to each other. Why? Because at that particular section, that is referred as the concave side of the slope, in that particular section the water force, it is going to strike. So at the time of taking the bend, a particular slope, particular portion, it is going to be eroded. So that erosion leads to what? Leads to bring the material, brings the loops very close to each other. So meander necks, they contracts to each other, while the mouths of the meander come close to each other, and the river becomes almost a circle. In course of time, the river cuts through the narrow neck of the loop, abandoning the meander to form the oxbow lake. This is also known as the mort lake or dead lake also. So we are getting some of the points, some of the steps related to it. The first one, it will flow obviously through the plain area. Deposition will be very high in the convex sides. Erosion will be continued in the concave side, and obviously these two continuous process in the opposite bends brings the loops or the mouth of the bends very close to each other. Number 2, meanwhile water on the outside edge tends to flow faster, which erodes the banks, making the meander even wider. Number 3, the time the loop of the meander widens until the neck vanishes altogether. So next will be vanishes, next it will vanish, and ultimately the river will flow in a straight way. So number 4, then that meander is removed from the river's current and the horse shaped oxbow lake is formed. It is referred as the oxbow due to the resemblance with the footprints of ox or the horses. That is why it is known as the Oxbow Lake. I think all you have seen that the footprint in the wetland by the horse or very particularly by the cows or the ox. It has a similarity with it, that is, it is why it is referred as the oxbow. So I think it is clear to you, everybody. So we are going to proceed to the next portion, the next depositional landform. Let's see. Now, it is another depositional landform, floodplain. What is floodplain? Floodplain is the wide flatter valley floor surrounding the river. So what is the main reason behind it? From the picture, I think it is clear to you that due to the flood, at the time of the flood, we used to see that the sedimentation by the rivers over the surrounding areas. Why? Because in the rainy season or during the time of the flood, the rivers they not able to carry the water along with his channel. So channel they usually get overflow. Due to the overflow of the river, the materials those which are mixed with the river body, they start getting deposited along with the river bank, and it is the way to form the another depositional landform that is referred as the floodplains. In this kind of formation of landform, we used to see there is also some significance of the lateral erosion. What is the meaning of the lateral erosion? The lateral erosion means the erosional process which is sideward erosion. So sideward erosion usually helpful to create such situation in which the river body or river channel gets widened. But we have to keep in mind, due to the gentle slope, there is no other way to have the deep cut of the channel. Next one, the smaller sediments is carried further away than the deposited. So they usually, the fine materials they usually get deposited where they usually get deposited very far away from the main river course, and which is the coarse material they usually get deposited nearer to the main river course. So we usually see there is development of embankment along with the river bank by the comparatively the coarse materials, those which not able to being carried out in the further positions, or which not able to go to the farthest position from the main river course. So years after years, due to the such process, we usually see there is gradual increase of the height of the river channel, gradual increase of the height of the side by region of the main river course. These are referred as the embankment. This is known as natural levee. So at the time of formation of the floodplain, comparatively nearer to the main river course, when the materials they are being deposited, and these are mainly by the comparatively coarse and the heavier materials, this leads to the formation of natural levee. Now we have reached to the last portion of the river, and most remarkable and most important river landform, that is delta. What is the meaning of delta? The delta is a landform which has similarity with the Greek alphabet. It is known as delta. It is mostly triangular shape and it usually get developed at the mouth of the river. So delta usually form in the very last stage, in the old stage of the river, when the river they not able to carry the huge amount of sediments. The river channel they usually get divided into the several parts, means it creates the lots of distributary during this age, and ultimately in the bird's eye view we used to see that the formation of a almost similar to the triangular landscape that is known as the delta. So delta formation is dependent on some of the favorable factors. What they are? Number one, the river must have large load. Obviously, we have to keep in mind when the river they usually goes to the or reach to the last stage, we usually see the formation of delta due to the large load. Next one, there should not be extensive deposition in the middle stage. So in the middle stage, what cannot be carried, which cannot be deposited, they will be deposited here. So the very fine particles we usually see they start depositing here. The reverse load must be deposited faster than it can be removed by the action of currents and tides. So we have to keep it also in mind. The load must be deposited faster than can be removed by any other agent. Next one, presence of the shallow adjoining sea or the continental shelf region should be there. Means at the mouth. What is the mouth of the river? Mouth of the river means where the river is going to merge with a sea or a lake or with a particular water body in which it is going to be merged. Next one, the velocity of the river must be sufficiently low to allow the most of its load to be deposited in the river's mouth. Next one, the relative density of ocean water is also important. Agents of ocean water, all these are important of the formation of delta. Delta formation is one of the most important and the most common feature of the depositional work of the river. The world's largest delta has been formed at the mouth of the river Ganga. It is known as Sundarban Delta region. This particular region is also assisted by in the formation by the river Brahmaputra. So combinedly the flow of river what? River Ganga has led to the formation of the world's largest delta, that is Sundarban Delta. Now here you are getting some of the summary regarding the formation of delta. It is alluvial fan and alluvial cone. This kind of landform they usually get developed by the river in the very junction point of the upper course and the middle course. So what I have said earlier, I have said mainly from the middle course of the river we usually see that the starting of depositional work. It is an example that from the very junction point we used to get the formation of such depositional landforms. What is the meaning of alluvial cone? alluvial cone. By the name of cone, it is very easy to understand. It is obviously a cone-shaped landform, and that cone-shaped landform is going to be developed in the foothill region. So for this, what we require? What factors are required? First of all, we have to keep in mind velocity and discharge much affect how much material of a river can transport. When a river velocity greatly decreases, sediment drops out of the water to form a an alluvial fan. So we have to keep in mind when the river they usually get down from the upper region to the comparatively lower region, means in the middle course it is going to be merged or it is going to be come down. At that junction point we used to get the formation of alluvial cone. So the factors once again I am telling: decrease of the slope, partially blind valley we usually see. Next one, braided channels or braided structure of the river will be formed. Low transporting capacity, it will be also found, and obviously it is also dependent on the parent material, means which material is going to be deposited over there. So if the heavy materials, then they will not be, it is not possible. What we usually see, when the heavy materials, such heavy materials or comparatively coarser materials, they used to deposit it in the foothill region. So alluvial fans and the cones always formed at the base of the foothill. We have to keep it in mind. But the similar kind of landform can be also seen in the last stage of the river. That in the last stage of the river, when it is being developed due to the deposition, that is referred as the delta. So delta and alluvial cone, they might have remarkable similarity by their shape, but we have to keep it in mind their place of formation, it is different. Place of formation is different because at the mouth of the river, means in the ending section, very old stage of the river, we usually see the deposition which ultimately lead to the formation of the delta. But in case of alluvial cone, it will be in the foothill region. So there is also remarkable similarity with the human life here. In our childhood, what we used to do after some activities, even till now, after some activities, we usually take rest. After completion of the heavy erosional work, a river usually takes some halt due to the decrease of the slope. And in this condition, means due to the reduction of the slope, the appropriate condition at the foothill region of the mountain leads to the formation of alluvial cone. Alluvial fan, when the cones they join to each other, that is referred as the alluvial fan, and it is almost similar to the hand fan.